far right or fed up? You decide. Are the people who marched at the Unite the Kingdom rally just far right, as the mainstream media claims, or is there more to the story? In this video, we share Kemi Badenoch's fiery LBC interview with Iain Dale, where a caller challenged her on the massive London march led by Tommy Robinson. We'll also explore responsive governance. Before we get into the details, if you love diving into political issues and enjoy hearing a principled take on them, then hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to join the conversation. It will help our channel reach a wider audience.
What will you be doing to stop the far-right extremism that's spreading through the UK right now? Tommy Robinson, a former participant in the BNP, the EPL, openly racist movement, on Saturday welcomed Elon Musk onto an enormous screen in the centre of London. My parents were there and were horrified to see what was going on. Elon Musk then directed the people of the UK to act violently, to overthrow our democratically elected government. What would you do to stop this from happening again?
Thank you, Julia. It's a really good question. And the reports I heard about the protests and the rallies at the weekend were actually quite different. If you read the article that Trevor Phillips, a very respected broadcaster on Sky News, someone of Caribbean heritage, wrote, he said it's a lot more complex than that. There are a lot of people in our country who are feeling uncertain, they're feeling anxious. And I think that when you get very large groups of people in London like that, there will inevitably be problems. We have it when it's Notting Hill Carnival. This protest had quite a lot of people there, clerics and so on. Let's not give people a particular label just because Tommy Robinson is there. This is not about Tommy
What would
Robinson.
you describe him as far right?
I'm not interested in giving labels to people. I'm interested.
Well, he's not far left, is he?
No. Well, he's not far left, but I'm interested in answering Julia's question, which is what do we do? And the first thing that we should do is stop trying to label people who have different opinions from us. If people are breaking the law, which Tommy Robinson has done on occasion, I think that the law, needs to be enforced properly. But actually, if people are expressing anxiety, expressing, loss of national or cultural identity, that is something the politicians need to address with reasonable rhetoric, not talking about, escalating violence or anything like that. And what we're seeing is many people very worried about what's happening to our country. They see a lot of people turning up, taking our system for granted, asylum seekers who aren't real asylum seekers, getting things that a lot of people in this country cannot get. They also see people, claiming benefits when they're not entitled to, people who should be in work, and they feel that the country is not fair. We need to build a fairer country. And what politicians can do to unite the country is show how we're working hard to create a fairer society, make sure that we can continue to be a wealthy society. We're getting poorer at the moment because of the government's terrible policies. That's what we can do, and we'll see a lot of this dissipate.
So you recognise that many of the protesters had legitimate concerns, but would you therefore be open to meeting Tommy Robinson to talk about these concerns? Because there are 150,000 people there, which I think was probably more than most people thought would attend.
Yeah, but I don't need to meet Tommy Robinson for people to know what I think. What I want people to know is what Kemi Badenoch thinks. I'm the leader of the opposition. I am the leader of the Conservative Party, and what I'm saying is what I can and will do if my party is elected into government and I become Prime Minister. Wanting to meet every individual who, has got a particular viewpoint, legitimate or illegitimate, is not really what my job is about. I meet people from all across the country. Today I was meeting businesses in Soho who are talking about how they have to close because the business taxes are too much. Yesterday I was on a farm talking to farmers. That's what I'm doing. I want to talk to everyday people, not just the people who want more publicity.
If you had been in the middle of that demonstration on Saturday, so you just happened to walk through it, do you think you would have felt safe? What kind of reception do you think you would have got from the people that were there?
Well, I saw there were all sorts of people there. It was a majority white crowd, but there were black people there who were saying the same thing. You read Trevor Phillips' article. I do not want to see a society where we start dividing each other based on the color of our skin. We never used to do that. We never had, the kind of laws that they had in the US, the Jim Crow laws. This is a country where the least racist country in the world, as far as I'm concerned. concerned. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this job. I wouldn't be sitting in this chair. We need to celebrate that. And what I really hate is people on all sides of the political spectrum who keep trying to cause division by saying, oh, it's this group of people who disagree with me who are causing all those problems. And social media has been amplifying and escalating that. What I'm trying to do is de-escalate that.
One person who isn't trying to de-escalate that is Elon Musk, who you, I think it's fair to say, have sort of slightly courted in the past. I mean, he addressed this crowd. Well, well, I think there are occasions when he said some positive things about him. But he addressed that crowd and said, well, they're coming for you. You need to fight back. And I think the word violence was mentioned. You've got to condemn that, surely.
You look at the comments that he made, and it's very easy to read it in multiple contexts. What I don't want to be doing is condemning this person, condemning that person. We've been doing that for many years.
He was inciting violence,
Kemi. Well, I don't actually think that he was. I think he was saying, if people are being violent, fight back.
Fight back or die.
Well, it's not the sort of language that I would use. But what I'm trying to do right now is de-escalate. Even asking me to say, well, will you condemn Elon Musk? That's not a de-escalation. All of this.
Well, I think it is, actually. I think people out there listening will think, well, that's exactly what a responsible leader of the opposition should do.
I disagree, Iain, because a lot of people would have interpreted his remarks very differently. What I need to do is set out...
And you're pandering to them.
No, I'm not pandering to them. What I'm not going to do is set my stall based on what did Tommy Robinson say? Do you agree? What did Elon Musk say? Do you agree? I'm not a commentator. I'm a politician.
Sure.
No, Iain, I'm pushing back on this.
Okay.
We need to be very, very careful about how we handle these issues. And what I see happening again and again is lots of people trying to whip up sentiment saying, this person said this, that person said that. What am I going to do as leader of the Conservative Party? We're going to have policies that are going to make sure that society is fairer, that people pay their way, that our system is not exploited. We need to grow our economy because a lot of people are frustrated because they are feeling poorer. I'm not going to indulge in rhetoric, which I think is problematic, but I'm also not going to be a commentator. That's for people on the media and radio show hosts to do, but that's not what I am. I am a politician and leader of the opposition.
What a hurtful thing to say.
Don't take it personally. It is a trap, and
I'm not seeking to trap you. I'm not seeking to trap you, but all I'm seeking to do, I can say to you that Nigel Farage has categorically said that he would not have anyone who's a supporter of Tommy Robinson or Tommy Robinson himself as a member of Reform. He banned the BNP from joining the Brexit Party at the time, or people who had been former BNP members.
Yeah, but the Conservative Party has been doing that for decades.
No, but you're not even willing to call Tommy Robinson far right.
No, I'm just not engaging in that, because you know what happened last year? The Prime Minister went out and called a group of parents and many legitimate protesters far right. It didn't calm things down. What it did was escalate, and we saw riots in Southport. I'm not Keir Starmer. I'm not just going to start labelling people because I think it's convenient for my supporters.
It's tragic that politicians and the mainstream media have divided us, causing some, especially on the left, to forget we are all British. The Unite the Kingdom rally in London wasn't about far-right extremists, as outlets like the BBC claim. Most of the people who marched were law-abiding citizens, fed up with what both the Tories and Labour have done to Britain. Millions are crying out, praying for relief, unable to take it anymore. Those who marched represented the majority, driven by pain, not by politics. It was about leaders who ignore them, dismissing their voices unless they're offended by what you have to say, and therefore you are put in jail. Labour's slogan, "We're going further and faster," feels like a rush to ruin. Further and faster towards what? Destroying Britain? Politicians act irresponsibly, quick to label hard-working British patriots as far-right instead of listening to them. Responsive governance requires leaders to pause, reflect, and ask, what have we done to cause such public unrest? Where are we leading this nation? Why are people rising up? The government must evaluate its failures and change course. Leaders are here to serve the people, not to wield power over them. The people aren't fools. They see their taxes squandered on wars, unchecked immigration, net zero, and other pet projects, while politicians demand more from their pockets. When will it end? When will Britain come first? Responsive governance means leaders stop blaming others, listen to the people, and act with urgency. This is a democracy, not a dictatorship. Give the people what they need: lower taxes, better management, and a government that hears the cries of its people. It's time for the government to prioritize Britain and to help this nation return to prosperity, peace, and unity. Share your thoughts below and keep calling for a government that truly hears the people. Stay engaged because your voice matters. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.